high-risk industry, so it's a really good fit for construction. This is the overview of some of the core features that it's going to offer for construction companies. So you're going to have the site-specific reporting and visibility. It's going to help with compliance with any regulatory body that you need to comply with. Paperless field operations, digital safety management, and asset management. So we found with people that have used our software that it has saved them up to 50% time savings on their inspection to reporting process. So this is for people who are doing their inspections manually with pen and paper. And so what they've done is now they're using Field Eagle, which is a digital solution to do the same job, and it's saved them a lot of time. And this is just an overview of how the system works. So we have a web application where someone like in head office or an administrator is going to go in, they're going to set up all the inspection templates and forms. They're going to add in all like the regulatory bodies and standards that need to be complied with, and they're going to set up the questions and answers, the compliance rating, what it would be a pass, what would be a fail, it's a critical, minor, major. And then the administrator will then assign an inspection to an inspector in the field, and it will send the inspection to their tablet device. So the inspector can go out, they can do their inspection, and then when they have an internet connection again later, they can synchronize the inspection back to head office so that it can be seen right away. Yeah, does that make sense? Any questions so far? No?
No, it makes sense.
Okay, all right, awesome. Yeah, and this is just a testimony from one of our construction customers from APM McLean. So now I'll actually show you the system. So I'm going to show you.
If I just jump in real quick, and for the mobile devices, what mobile devices can this be pushed to?
So the system is designed to be for like a tablet device or like a laptop rather than like a smartphone. It can any platform, Windows, Android, or iOS is supported.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, so what you're seeing now here, this is a server application. So this is where the head office or the administrator can manage everything in the system. So they can do user management, so they can create, this is where they're gonna add all their inspectors. There is a lot of different kinds of data management that you can do. So document management can be anything from adding videos to PDF documents, any sort of media. And what you can do with this is that you can attach a specific document to an inspection question. So if you want to add more information for the inspector, it could be a diagram, it could be a video on how to do the inspection. It can all be done here. You can also add in all of your regulatory bodies. So whatever regulatory body that you need to comply with, you're going to add them in here. And then you're also going to be able to manage any sort of standard as well that you need to make sure that you comply with.
And those are templates that Field Eagle keeps updated depending on the regulatory body?
Yeah, so you can manage them, the customer can manage it themselves, or we do provide like templates for inspection templates that the user can download and use, but this is something here that is managed by the user.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. And so here we have the template builder. So this will be where you can add like a master template here. So I've created a small demo template here. And so this is going to be like a master template that's going to have all of your questions associated with all of the items. So this is completely configurable and customizable for whatever makes sense for your business here. So these are all items here that I've created. And then what I've done is I have created and added my own questions as well. So this is the template that's later going to appear on the inspector's tablet. Okay. So the whole system is configurable. So even the question and answer types. So say for example, so I'm just going to move this little window here. I've created in advance all of these different kind of answer types. So in this case, the answer type for this question here is the MDMS information accessible to employees. I've created like a yes/no checkbox. So you can configure any kind of question answer in the system in advance. So it's highly configurable to make sense for your business.
And once those reports are completed by the inspector, is the report just a PDF of the report, the completed report delivered back to the admin, or is there like underlying data that's delivered?
Yeah, so when the inspection is sent back to the system, we have quite a few reports here. So we have like a punch list report. We have a much more detailed like final compliance report. We also create a custom report for each customer. We have a serious defect notification report. So there's quite a lot of different reporting options here. So this is all being fed by the data coming back in from the inspector.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So this thing here, this is asset. So this is something that is configurable for the business. So an asset can be anything. It can be a job site. It could be a machine. It could be anything that is being inspected. So in this case here, I've set it up to be like a job site. So I've created this asset here, a Simcoe Street site here. And what I've done is I've taken that master template that I just created, and now I'm going to customize it for this job site. So what I've done is I've essentially removed things from the master template that don't make sense for this particular work site. So, and then I've copied in, you know, a lot of the same questions that were already there in the master template. And so now if I want to assign this inspection here, so I'm going to go to the inspections here. I'm going to assign a new inspection. And this is the template that I have just created here. Okay. You can also assign inspections at a future date. You can assign an inspection to multiple inspectors or a single inspector here. Okay, and that has been done successfully. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to the tablet so we can see what the inspector sees. Here, okay. So I'm using this on my laptop, but this can be used on any tablet device. It can be used on an iPad, an Android tablet, or any Windows tablet here. So when the inspector, after they sign in, say at the beginning of the day, what they're going to do is they're going to synchronize with the server. So then they're going to get all the inspections downloaded onto their tablet. So this does require an internet connection. Once they're out in the field doing the inspection, they don't need an internet connection, but they will need one when they synchronize the inspections back to head office. Okay. So after they finish synchronizing, they're going to get a list of inspections that they need to do. There. So essentially what you'll see is the inspection that I've already created on the server here. So the inspectors can now go through and answer the questions. So say I create a failure scenario here. No, it's not. No, it's not. Same. Certain things here. Right? So in some questions, as the admin server, what I've done is if there is a failure situation, I may make it mandatory that they provide more information. So this can be done in taking notes. So you have to provide a note for that. It may be that in the case of it's a failure, we could also say that a photo, like taking a photograph with the tablet, is also mandatory here. So I'm gonna just do that now just to show you how the photos work here. Okay, so you're gonna get a picture of me on this.
And I think we're still seeing the web app. Is that what we're supposed to be seeing?
We're on the tablet now. We're on the tablet, so we're the inspector in the field now conducting an inspection.
Gotcha. Should I be seeing that on the Zoom, or is that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you not see it?
I don't know.
I just see the web app.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize that it didn't switch over. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
There we go. So now you should actually see.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Yeah. So let me just back up here a little bit here. Yeah. So like I said, this is the screen they're going to see after they log in.
Got it.
I mentioned that, they're going to go in, they're going to synchronize the inspections at the beginning of the day. They're going to get the new inspections downloaded. They're going to go into their My Inspections, and they're going to see all their inspections that they need to do.
And will they just be notified through this application, or are there like email notifications?
Yes, there are email notifications as well. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the inspection that I created recently on the server here. So you're going to see it duplicated here now on the tablet application. So I was going through and I was answering some questions here. So is the MDMS information accessible to employees? I've answered yes or no. Once I answer no, you can notice that these little icons here, these are your notes and photos. As an administrator, I made it mandatory on this question that if there's a failure, then they have to add in notes. And in some cases, you can also make it mandatory that they add a photo. So I'm gonna take a photo of myself and I'm gonna hold up this little picture here there.
Okay.
I can't connect to my camera. Of course, this always happens during a live webinar.
Yeah.
I literally just downloaded this version of our software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can imagine it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can take a photo normally, and then you can actually mark it up. So you can add.
Oh, got it.
The inspector can draw on it with its finger or with a mouse or anything that they're using. They can mark it up.
Got it. And can you assign inspections to subcontractors or other people not in your company?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're in the system and you're setting up your inspectors, they can be anybody. They just need to have an email address, contact information. You can add them to the system. They'll have a tablet with the Field Eagle app downloaded on it. They'll have an activation license key.
Okay.
Yeah, for the tablet.
But they wouldn't need to have to pay for a subscription themselves?
No,
or would
no.
they? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I mentioned here, so if it's a pass or fail, you can make it mandatory here to add information here. And so the field ecosystem, it's designed so that you can't send back an incomplete inspection. So if you try to, you're going to get an error message that says that you need to complete it. So this will avoid any situation where you do have an inspector coming back with an incomplete inspection that's done on pen and paper. So like we have clients who, you know, do inspections in remote areas. So if you can imagine if something came back incomplete, it would be pretty bad to have to send an inspector back out to do to finish it. So this way we make sure that everything is answered, and everything is answered exactly the way that it should be. Okay, so I'm going to have to go through some of my other questions here, just so that I can answer my questions here. So once it's answered, you're going to see that that changes to a little check mark here on the left-hand side. If you were in a really large inspection and you weren't sure which question you didn't answer, then you can highlight the ones in the inspection list that you didn't answer. So it's easier to find, so that you can go back through and then find the missing answers. I think I'm gonna have to do this. Okay. Okay. Here. If the inspector is out doing an inspection in the field and they see an item in the field that's not addressed on the list, they can add it themselves on the fly. So they can add a new item to inspect. And they can create the questions to add as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
And can an owner have access, or maybe just like a read-only view, to kind of just look over the shoulder to make sure everything is compliant?
So when the inspection is synchronized back to the head office, then you can review the inspection.
Okay.
Yeah, inspections can also be reissued. So and you can even have the option to reissue an inspection, but only reissue the deficient items. So say it came back, there was deficient items. You know, those issues have been addressed. You can send the inspector out, and he can just inspect those specific items in the next inspection.
And piggybacking on that question, what kind of reporting capabilities are there in terms of this many inspections were done at this project, of this many assigned, 10 were completed? Is there any capability or functionality from that standpoint?
Yeah, there is. There definitely is. So I'm going to show you that when I go back onto the
Yep,
the
no worries.
The inspector does have the ability to generate like a pre-report, so they can kind of see like how the inspection is coming along. So right now we haven't finished the inspection, it's not going to be complete, but they can begin to see some data here, and they can even export it onto their tablet. Here. So going back to the, you can see their historical inspections here. So this is where you can see they can reissue an inspection here, or just reissue the deficient items as well. So once I reissue an inspection, it goes into my inspections that I need to perform. And now in this view here, I can also view like the previous answers to the inspection. And I can also preview the, I can highlight the previous deficiencies. So they will either be red, orange or green, depending on the criticality level of the pass or fail. So this one was previously a pass, so it's green, whereas these ones were all fail, so they're red. So once the inspection is complete, then they're going to go to the upload inspection screen. They'll see a list here. They'll be able to check it and upload it. And then just a quick note too, in order for an inspection to be complete, it does need to be signed off. So they will need to sign and submit the inspection. I haven't completed it, so I can't do it, but you'll be able to see that here. And you can see as you go the compliance rating and the number of items remaining. So going back to the server to answer the reporting question here. Okay, so you can generate reports based on so the assets. So say, you know, if your assets are set up for a site, then you can generate a report just to look at the individual work site, or you can look at multiple work sites at once. Here. There we go. So this is an example of a punch list report here.
I think we're still on the iPad.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, you're good.
All right, here we go. Let me share.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're back in the server. I've gone into the reports.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to see, like, say, you know, site level reports, so that would be in your asset reports here. So you would see a list of all the sites, of all the inspections here, so that you could generate a report that way. You can see, you know, there's activity reports as well. So it's sort of like an audit trail of what different site users are doing. Inspector performance reports, so you can see reports based on how the different inspectors are performing. How many inspections have they done? You know, what are their sort of pass-fail rates? So I think that's sort of as a quick overview of the system.
Yeah, no, that's great. And so can you then export all that information onto a PDF or some sort of other document that you can vet through CSV files to be able to kind of really take a deeper dive into the data you've collected?
Yeah, you can export into different formats here. So once you can save, there's quite a few options here.
Mm-hmm. And then are there any integrations that Field Eagle leverages?
So we're custom software developers, so we can customize the system to integrate with any system.
Okay.
Yeah, so we build a customized API to work with any system that needs to be connected.
You know, from when you guys, oops, sorry, go ahead, Carl.
No, go ahead.
So when you look at all the different kind of high risk industries out there, obviously construction being one of them. Within construction, general contractors, suppliers, owners, real estate developers, a lot of different folks have an interest in this type of reporting content. Where are you guys seeing the majority of kind of the traction? Is it on the general contractor front, or more with the supplier or contractor community?
It would be more with I think the general contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people that are using it to look at doing mostly like safety inspections, the worksite inspections for construction.
Got it.
Yeah.
And where do you see the most use within construction? Is it safety personnel? Is it project managers or QC managers or inspectors, or is it a little bit of everybody?
It would be more in this like the safety managers that would be using this, because yeah, it's primarily for inspections.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the photos you're able to capture and then annotate, you can, I'm assuming you can save those in other locations as well, right? I can save that to my desktop.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it comes into the reports, you'll be able to see the photos in the reports as well. So each question in the system right now can have up to 5 photos per question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the job, is there some kind of project summary that is able to be delivered as part of maybe like closeout documentation or anything like that?
Well, Field Eagle is just mostly going to do the inspection side of things. So, you know, if there's other components in that would go into that report, then Field Eagle would be handling the inspection side of things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it would if I'm putting on my project manager hat, you know, back in the day when I went from one project to the next, there, you know, some projects never really leave you. And so you're always having to kind of go back and look at either, okay, this room, what were the in-wall inspections that were completed, or what kind of safety processes do we have in place? And so it seems like with this being cloud software, this would easily allow you to go back in time and kind of recreate that history.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it becomes like a source of data for your company.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Spot
definitely.
on.
Yeah.
And I would love to see kind of what information you guys collect on the dashboard. I'm assuming if you have multiple projects and there's multiple personnel managing inspection reports, I'm sure it'd be good to see kind of what information from a high level an owner can see on their project portfolio.
Yeah, so our dashboard is going to show here like all the current inspector activity, all the current inspections happening here. They'll see a list of completed inspections as well, so they can immediately go in and launch and view them.
Okay. And are there is there a limit to how many projects you can have, or how many inspections you can have?
The only limit is with the subscription package. So
Okay.
the package will limit how many inspections that you can have. And then of course we always have like an enterprise level solution where it's unlimited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a limit on users as well?
No, there's
Okay.
again, it's so the subscription is like the price is per user. And
Okay.
then, yeah, depending on the level of package, we'll say how many inspections that you can do with it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said do you guys have a template library? So if I was a GC that just downloaded this or just starting to roll it out, is there a way for me to see kind of whether templates or what other people have used traditionally in the past to really just import that, or am I creating a lot of that stuff on my own?
So we can add the templates for you. So some of the general templates that are used by industry. So on our end, we have an admin who will assign those to each customer. Yes.
Okay. No, this was great. I really appreciate your time. Stevie, did you have any additional questions? Looking at our list here.
Yeah, no, I think you did it. That was a great demo. So appreciate you walking us through that. You know, I think I see all kinds of applications, especially on the really large projects when there's just tons of paper, and the ability to digitize some of this content is huge. So well done.
Yeah, we're surprised by how many people are still doing these things with like pen and paper, and it's just when they have to put together a report and they have to go through files and pull out all these inspections and then pull everything together and to create one comprehensive report. It's like crazy.
Yeah, that's hard.
Crazy that people do that. But yeah, so Field Eagle kind of steps in to just automate that, and then within a few clicks you can get that all in one report.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I think my probably last question is maybe more of a sales question, but you know, there's a couple of mobile inspection softwares out there? Like, what separates Field Eagle from a competitor or another software like this?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So I would say Field Eagle was sort of built to handle like really robust inspections. So what we found with other software was that it was a bit limited, especially in the item hierarchy. So you can see, I think still on my screen now, we have an item hierarchy here. So there's no limit on how many like child items that you can have in our inspections. So that was one thing that we found that Field Eagle did a better job at. So some were like limited to maybe like three child items deep, whereas we don't limit that. Because some of our first clients that we had, they had really complex inspections, so we kind of built that into the system for them. Another thing too is that so we're a custom software developer, and so we've been around for over 26 years. So we have a lot of experience in developing custom software and providing like a really good level of service to our customers as well. So we listen to our customers a lot. We add, you know, their ideas and feedback into our roadmap, and eventually over time, you know, we start to develop out those features.
That's great. No, that's important. And so, and I totally know what you mean. I mean, depending on the contractor or professional, yeah, I think a lot of these inspection reports can be really detailed and really intricate. And I feel like you need to have that a platform that can support that, because it's not just, I mean, every GC isn't the same, and they all have different things that they want to track or collect data on, and so you have to kind of be pliable in that way.
Yeah, and we do offer like customized solutions as well, so we can customize the solution for different companies, you know, so that it even fits more so their unique needs. So we have both the out of the box version of Field Eagle, and then we also offer customized solutions as well.